Welcome back on my channel. Chosen one. You'll be the first in your family. Final step. You were never meant to blend in. You were born to break what others in your family silently endured. You were not sent into this generation to repeat the cycles that held your bloodline hostage for decades. You were assigned to be the first to rise, the first to see beyond survival, the first to taste freedom that others only dreamed of. This is the final step in a journey, not just for you, but for every silent voice behind you who didn't get the chance to walk this far. There is something divine about being chosen. It's not something you earn with status, wealth, or applause. It's a quiet stamp of favor that rests on your life. Even when nothing around you looks extraordinary, even when your bank account is empty, your soul is full of callings. Even when people ignore you, heaven has already announced your name. You were picked because you are the one who would carry the burden with grace. You were picked because heaven knew you wouldn't fold when it got hard. And now, after all the breaking, the pressing, the sacrifice, comes the final step. Watch this video until the end. And in the comments, write your warmest wishes and the number 777 to activate the energy of miracles as we move into a chapter where wishes begin to come true and the universe aligns in your favor. Don't hold back. Declare what your heart has been quietly whispering. Let the vibration of belief move with your words. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. Chosen one, you're not watching this by accident. You were led here because this message is a checkpoint, a confirmation, the final proof before you step into something no one else in your family has ever witnessed. You're about to step into ownership, into spiritual royalty, into emotional clarity, into financial dominance. What has been waiting for you will no longer be delayed. This is the final step before heaven unlocks what's been long prepared. Let's be honest, your family didn't come from crowns. They came from struggle. They came from silence. They came from dreams postponed and prayers unanswered. They came from jobs they hated, bills they couldn't keep up with, relationships they stayed in because they had no other option. And yet, out of that lineage came you, not random, not irrelevant. You are the proof that something new is beginning. You're the first in the family to say, I am not staying where I was born. I'm not stopping where it got hard. I'm not repeating what broke them. What's happening now is much deeper than what meets the eye. It's not just about one big financial shift. It's about the entire future being rewritten. It's about your children, your grandchildren, your great-grand-and-children, never having to carry the same weights. It's about being the first to say, that ends with me. It's about being the first to open bank accounts filled with divine surplus. The first to speak the language of abundance fluently. The first to be mentally well and emotionally whole. The first to have access not only to money, but to peace. Not only to recognition, but to real spiritual security. Chosen one, do you realize what kind of spiritual DNA it takes to be the first? It takes relentless faith. It takes discipline when no one is watching. It takes walking into rooms where no one looks like you and still standing tall. It takes breaking through invisible ceilings your ancestors couldn't even see. But the good news is, you were built for it. You've already endured enough proof to know that you won't collapse at the final step. This isn't the time to second-guess us. This is the time to lock in. You're stepping into first-time territory, first-time millionaire, first-time peace, first-time legacy that isn't tainted with pain, first-time ownership of real estate, not just rentals, first-time complete restoration of what the enemy tried to break. You are walking into the promise that was buried under the pressure of years of hardship. But hear this clearly. The final step is where most people give up. Not because they aren't close, but because the pressure increases right before the release. You've probably already noticed the strange warfare around you lately. The sudden fatigue, the random confusion, the emotional instability that tries to creep in just when you thought things were finally moving. That's not a coincidence. It's confirmation. That's how you know the step you're on now is sacred. This is the gate before the gold, the push before the promise, the test before the throne. The resistance is proof that something powerful is being released. Stay grounded, stay present. Don't let a momentary mood rob you of a generational miracle. The final step is about trust. You've done the work. You've healed the wounds. You've prayed the prayers that felt like they were falling into silence. You've turned down what others chased just to stay aligned. And now you are at the edge. This is not the moment to look back. This is not the time to doubt the path. You didn't come this far to almost, you came to complete. You came to become the evidence that being first doesn't mean being alone. It means being legendary. There's a divine hand over your life that no enemy can remove. It's not about proving anything to anyone anymore. You are no longer performing for applause. You are preparing for inheritance. Let them talk. Let them doubt. Let them say what they will. They said it about every first until the first became the foundation. That's what you are. The foundation of a new legacy, a new wealth language, a new understanding of favor, a new divine rhythm that changes how your entire bloodline walks into rooms from now on. You've cried quiet tears for years, wondering if it would ever be your turn. Now it is. And not just a turn, it's a territory. You're not just getting a blessing. You're being handed a dominion, a responsibility, a movement. You will fund ideas. You will purchase buildings. You will write your family's new script. You will erase the lack from your family's vocabulary. You will remove the shame. You will rewrite the narrative. Not someday. Now, this is not a maybe. This is not a wish. This is a divine certainty wrapped in sacred timing. You are the first in your family to reach this level of favor. And the weight of that favor will not crush you. It will carry you. It will elevate you. It will surround you with people who get it. People who speak the same language of destiny. People who won't be intimidated by your shine, but will be illuminated by it. You're walking into a new season where even your silence will speak abundance, where even your presence will shift rooms, where even your stillness will be prophetic. You are a carrier of divine change, a vessel of generational upgrade, an instrument of heaven's rewriting plan. And everything you've been through has been leading to this, the betrayals, the delays, the silent battles, the lonely nights, the false starts, the closed doors. They were all shaping you for this moment. You didn't waste any pain. You didn't lose any tears. It's all been recorded. It's all been accounted for. And now you're cashing in spiritually, emotionally, financially. You're being paid in full. There is something sacred about being the first to escape, the first to elevate, the first to believe in miracles when all you were raised around was barely surviving. And being the first is not just about new results, it's about new thinking. You can no longer approach life with the patterns of the past. The mentality that says just enough is enough can't travel with you now. The idea that life must be hard to be holy no longer fits this level of favor. You are not stepping into average. You're stepping into divine surplus. And that requires you to think, walk, speak, and respond differently than everyone before you. You are not rising for yourself alone. You are rising for every soul connected to you. There is a spiritual chain reaction about to erupt because you refuse to bow to bitterness. You refuse to settle. You said no to cycles. You broke the agreements that your family unknowingly made with lack, fear, and invisibility. You said, "I'll be the one who sees the promise." And now that declaration is echoing in realms you cannot see. Doors are opening, not just for you, but for generations that come after you. That's how powerful your yes has been. You may not feel ready. That's normal. The first never feels fully prepared because there's no blueprint for what they're about to build. You're being called into an anointing that doesn't make sense on paper, but the oil on your life is undeniable. People may not be able to explain why they feel a pull toward you, why your presence feels different, why your ideas hold weight. But heaven knows. Heaven sees the final step has come. The assignment is shifting now. And let this be clear. You don't need everyone's agreement to walk into this favor. Stop waiting for your family to validate what God already told you. Stop expecting those who never left the neighborhood to understand the global territory being handed to you. You are not arrogant. You are appointed. You are not selfish. You are chosen. You're not trying to impress. You're walking in the instructions that were etched into your spirit before you were even born. Sometimes, the most painful part of being the first is realizing how much you'll have to do alone. But let that loneliness remind you that this calling didn't come from people. It came from above. You were not chosen by committee. You were selected by covenant. And heaven doesn't make mistakes. The weight you carry is heavy, because the breakthrough you're about to release is massive. You will be the one to open gates no one else even noticed. You'll be the one to turn the curse into a corridor. The generational line stops here. And it's not a soft ending. It's a supernatural explosion. Let the world underestimate you. Let your past mock you. Let your bank account look confused for now. All of it is shifting, and when it does, it will be undeniable. People will ask how you got there, and all you'll be able to say is, "It was divine." Because what's about to happen in your life won't make sense to man. It won't follow traditional routes. You won't be able to trace it to a networking event or a family favor or a government grant. It will be straight from heaven, signed and sealed by favor itself. This is why you couldn't quit, why your soul didn't let you rest, why the pressure got worse every time you tried to walk away, because you weren't built to collapse, you were built to complete. And this is your season of completion. This is the part where you stop doubting whether you heard right. You did. This is the part where you no longer shrink to make others comfortable. They'll adjust or they'll watch. But either way, you're not hiding anymore. You didn't come this far to be liked. You came to be legendary. You came to be the story they'll tell for generations. You came to walk through doors no one even knew were there. And the moment your foot steps through this final phase, everything changes. Your energy changes. Your confidence returns. Your clarity sharpens. Your money multiplies. Your network upgrades. Your sleep deepens. Your prayers shift from begging to commanding. Because the one who used to cry in secret is now the one commanding territory in public. Chosen one. Be bold. Now. The whispers you've been hearing, they're real. The nudges you feel in your spirit, that's divine direction. The sudden losses and shifts in your circle, that's divine alignment. Don't grieve what had to go. Don't mourn the exits. Don't question the doors that slammed. They had to close so you wouldn't get stuck in rooms that were too small for your purpose. You're not being punished. You are being positioned. And here's the truth. The final step feels the most uncomfortable because it's the one that puts pressure on your identity. You are no longer allowed to see yourself as broken, as behind, as overlooked. You are now required to see yourself as royal, as worthy, as ready. Because heaven is matching your internal frequency with external favor. The level of transformation that's hitting your life will require you to accept the magnitude of who you are. You are not regular. You never were. You were always marked for more. Your dreams were always bigger than your environment. Your heart was always deeper than the surface-level conversations around you. That was your proof, not your pain, your purpose. And now that purpose is being set on fire. You'll feel it in your bones. The urgency, the clarity, the divine whispers that sound like thunder in your soul. You're not imagining this. You're awakening to it. Don't miss this final step by looking backwards. Don't sabotage it with fear, dressed as humility. Don't talk yourself out of destiny just because it feels unfamiliar. Your spirit knows the way. Trust it. Walk with courage. Speak with confidence. Stand with power. This is your moment, not a future one, not one day, not maybe next year. This is the moment the rest of your life begins to echo heaven's plan in real time. You're not just going to have a testimony, you're going to be the testimony. People will point to your life and say, that's what divine favor looks like. You'll walk into rooms and shift atmospheres without saying a word. You'll sign deals you never applied for. You'll gain access to places others waited decades for, because the timeline for the chosen is different. You don't follow rules. You follow revelation. And here's what's coming next. Divine acceleration. Don't be surprised when things start to move faster than usual, when opportunities stack, when clarity hits. In waves, when doors open, and you don't even know who mentioned your name. That's the favor of the first. You're not behind schedule. You're right on divine time. And from here on out, things will not just happen. They'll align. You were born for this. Breathe that in. Not everyone can carry the legacy you've been trusted with, but you were built different, structured to endure, engineered to expand. And now, it's all unfolding in your favor. You'll be the first. And after you, many will rise. But remember this, it began with you. You were the spark. You were the proof. You were the final step into a brand new story. You've made it this far, not by accident, but by divine preservation. Every moment that should have broken you, heaven intercepted. Every battle that was designed to silence you, God turned into fuel. You don't even realize how many times divine protection stood in front of what was sent to destroy you. And now here you are, still standing, still believing, still moving forward, even with scars. That alone is a victory. But this next season is not about survival anymore. This is about reward. This is about the full unveiling of the life that was always written with your name on it. You've carried burdens for people who didn't even know the weight you were under. You've smiled through situations that made your heart tremble. You've learned how to keep going when every part of you wanted to stop. But chosen one, here's the confirmation. The weight is lifting, the season is shifting, and you're about to live without fear of falling. You're about to lead without fear of failing. You're about to give from overflow, not obligation. You're about to win loudly, unapologetically, and permanently. Let's speak to what's happening behind the scenes, because what's about to manifest is already complete in the spirit. Your name has been called in rooms you've never entered. Your spirit has traveled further than your physical body. Your alignment is now pulling people, ideas, and divine provision directly toward you. You don't need to force anything. What's yours is already marked. The wealth, the property, the platform, the freedom. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when, and the when has arrived. This final step is not about figuring it out, it's about receiving what has already been prepared. You're not here to beg anymore, you're here to collect. There is a sacred inheritance with your name on it that no thief, delay, or demonic detour can block anymore. This is where you start seeing divine deposits instead of draining delays, unexpected opportunities instead of endless obstacles, clarity instead of chaos, divine order is stepping in where confusion tried to make itself comfortable. Your new beginning does not require permission. It simply requires your yes. And yes, it will be different, because you are different. You're no longer available for the version of you that second-guesses every step. You're no longer dancing around your destiny to keep people comfortable. You've graduated from needing validation. This is your realm now. You've earned your authority in silence. You've paid the price with pain. You've endured the hidden classroom of suffering where nobody clapped, nobody saw, and nobody helped. But God watched it all. And now, the payout begins. Chosen one, your story is about to become a strategy. Others will look to you as proof that the curse can be broken, that wealth can start in a barren land, that healing can come from a wounded person. That transformation is possible no matter where you started, that the beginning doesn't determine the ending when God is the author, and they won't be able to deny it. Not this time. Your light will be too bright, your breakthrough too clear, your level too elevated. This is the final step.